Hi guys, it's me Annie and I'm back with another video. On my channel I do all kinds of DIY cooking and crafting. So if you like that kind of content, be sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell so you won't miss any of my future videos. Today I'll be baking in my kitchen and I'll be making some Beskuit, also known as rusk, a South African favorite for breakfast or anytime snack. First, let's go over the ingredients we are going to use. I've got 6 cups of plain all-purpose flour. I've got 4 cups of bran. This is the kind I'm using. You can buy that at the supermarket. I've got 1 1/4 cup of sugar. I've got 1/4 cup of baking powder, 1 1/2 teaspoon of salt, 2 tablespoons of ground almonds, 1 cup of sunflower seeds. Then I have room temperature butter. We're going to use 500 grams, and we'll also be using 2 cups of lukewarm milk. We will be adding everything into my very big mixing bowl and we'll be mixing it up, and then we will place it into the Beskuit pans. I will show you. I have already sifted the 6 cups of flour. Now I'm going to add in the 1/4 cup of baking powder and sift that as well to make sure there's no lumps. And just push the lumps through the sift. Once that is done, I'm going to add the 1 1/4 cup of sugar, as well as the 4 cups of bran, I'm going to be adding the sunflower seeds, as well as the 2 tablespoons of ground almonds, and then also 1 1/2 teaspoon of salt. These dry ingredients I will just mix nicely before adding the wet ingredients. Now once you've got all the dry ingredients nicely mixed together, you're going to make a little well for the milk. The milk is lukewarm and it's 2 cups, and we're adding it to the dry ingredients into this little well. Then carefully, slowly, we'll mix in all the dry ingredients into the milk, and after that we'll be adding the butter. Now that you've got most of the milk mixed into the dry ingredients, I'll be adding the butter. This is 500 grams of butter. I just cut up into pieces to make it easier to mix it in. And just to help break it up, I'm using this little knife that I just cut it into the dough. Now that you've mixed in the butter as much as possible, you're going to go in with your hands. I'm using food grade gloves because I hate it when the dough goes under my nails. Then you just go in and you are kneading the butter into this dough to make sure it's all nicely combined. It's creating a very nice soft textured dough. It's important to use room temperature butter to make it easier to mix into the dough. Make sure you get the dry ingredients that's still lying at the bottom of the mixing bowl and work it in. So once you're happy with the consistency of your dough and it's nicely mixed, and make sure there's no dry ingredients at the bottom of the mixing bowl, you are ready to transfer this soft textured dough to your baking pans. For my baking pan, I am using this specially made Beskuit pan or rusk pan with this insert that I use to cut the rusks or biscuit with. So firstly, I want to use cooking spray to spray the pan to make sure the rusks or biscuit does not stick. Now we are ready to put this soft textured dough into our pan. And we will just be pressing it out with our hands. You can also bake this recipe using 3 loaf pans. And then instead of cutting it beforehand, you can cut it with an electric knife after you baked it. But these pans are really very convenient. So once it's baked, it's already cut. You just take it off and dry it overnight. Now you can see the dough is nicely spread out into the pan from corner to corner and side to side, nice and level. You are going to use some sesame seed and sprinkle it on. You can put as much or as little sesame seed as you like. I know some people do not like it, but I really love sesame seed on the rusk or biscuit. You just press down so that the sesame seed will stick to the dough. Now we are ready to cut. With this, we just need to press down into the dough to cut the perfect rusks or biscuit. Make sure you press all the way down. And it's got handles on top to make it easy to lift out again. Now you can see, we've got perfectly cut Beskuit or rusks, and we're going to pop this into a preheated oven of 180 degrees for 45 minutes. So the rusks are done baking. I let them cool down just for a few minutes so that they are easier to handle. I'm going to just be cutting them loose from each other, and then I will spread them out over 2 of these pans and set them in the oven to dry for 8 to 9 hours on 100 degrees, and then they will be ready to eat. They will be nice and crispy after 8 to 9 hours in the oven. So I dry them very slowly on a very low heat. Now you can begin just spreading the Beskuit or rusks out on the sheet pans. I'll be packing the rusks or Beskuit just like finger width apart so that there will be airflow all around each rusk or Beskuit, and then it will dry properly. I will pack out all of the rusks or Beskuit, and then I will bring you back and show you what it looks like before I put them in the oven to dry. So these rusks or Beskuit are now packed out, and they are ready to dry in the oven at 100 degrees over a period of 8 to 9 hours. And then they will be crispy and ready to eat. Thank you for watching my video today. Beskuit is such a wonderful snack to have in the house, and it's great for breakfast or anytime snack. So have a go and make some for yourself and for your family, and have a wonderful holiday. See you next time.